Hello everyone, my name is Snehal and today I will be presenting on key environmental challenges and sustainability focusing on climate change, air pollution, waste management and ozone protection. We will explore both local and global perspectives and see how we can make a positive difference. In this presentation, we will explore the main environmental challenges affecting both our local communities and the global ecosystem. These include climate change, air pollution, waste management, and ozone layer protection. We will examine the causes, impacts, and solutions for each challenge, highlighting scientific evidence, policy measures, and community initiatives. Climate change impact, local perspective. Locally, climate change is causing noticeable shifts in weather patterns. Rising temperatures and more frequent heat waves affect daily life and human health. Changes in rainfall are causing droughts or occasional floods, which impact water availability and agriculture. Farmers face reduced crop yields and altered planting seasons, and local ecosystems are being disrupted with some plant and animal species migrating or declining. These changes also increase energy demand, for example, for cooling during heat waves, putting stress on local infrastructure, as mentioned by Harris in 2023. Climate change impact, global perspective. Globally, the climate change is leading to rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and sea level rise. Hurricanes, floods, and wildfires are becoming more frequent and severe, threatening human lives and infrastructure. Melting glaciers and ice caps contribute to rising sea levels, putting coastal communities and island nations at risk. Changes in precipitation patterns are causing droughts in some regions and excessive rainfall in others. Ecosystems worldwide are affected, with coral reefs bleaching, species migrating, and biodiversity declining. This is mentioned by United Nations in 2025, Harris in 2023, and EEA in 2025. Climate change solutions, local efforts. Locally, communities are adopting several measures to combat climate change. Renewable energy, such as rooftop solar panels and small wind turbines, is reducing the reliance on fossil fuels. Tree planting initiatives and protection of green spaces help absorb carbon dioxide. Energy efficient practices, including LED lighting and reduced electricity consumption, are being promoted in homes and public buildings. Public awareness campaigns encourage sustainable transportation like cycling, carpooling, and public transit. Municipal efforts also focus on water conservation and developing climate resilient infrastructure. Moving ahead, let's talk about climate change solutions, global efforts. On a global scale, international agreements like the Paris Agreement aim to limit global temperature rise by reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Many countries are transitioning to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower. Policies promoting energy efficiency in industries, buildings, and transportation are helping lower overall energy demand. Global initiatives are also focused on protecting forests and restoring ecosystems to act as natural carbon sinks. International cooperation and climate finance support developing countries in adapting to and mitigating climate change, as mentioned in United Nations 2025. Now, let's talk about air pollution. Major local pollutants. In our region, two major air pollutants are particulate matter or PM2.5 and ground level ozone. PM2.5 is produced by vehicle exhaust, construction, and burning fossil fuels. These fine particles can penetrate deep into the lungs and enter the bloodstream, causing health problems. Ground level ozone forms when nitrogen oxides and volatile organic compounds react in sunlight, especially in urban and industrial areas. Both pollutants have significant environmental and health impacts if not controlled, as mentioned by Harris in 2023. Air pollution, environmental and health effects. Exposure to PM 2.5 increases the risk of respiratory diseases, asthma, and cardiovascular issues. Ground level ozone irritates the lungs, reduces lung function, and worsens existing respiratory conditions. Air pollution also affects crops and vegetation by reducing photosynthesis and slowing plant growth. In urban areas, it reduces visibility and contributes to smog formation. Long term exposure increases the burden on public health systems and lowers quality of life. The solution for it is waste management and sustainability. Effective waste management is essential for sustainability. It reduces land, air, and water pollution from improperly disposed waste. Recycling and reducing waste conserve natural resources and limit the demand for raw material extraction. Proper waste management also lowers greenhouse gas emissions, such as methane from landfills. Sustainable waste practices support a circular economy by promoting reuse and resource efficiency, while poor waste management poses risks to public health and the environment. Waste management practices and challenges in the local communities. Currently, local waste management includes household garbage collection, but recycling rates remain low. Open dumping and informal waste disposal still occur, contaminating soil and water. Limited public awareness and infrastructure challenges reduce the effectiveness of waste management. While some composting and segregation initiatives are emerging, stronger municipal policies and community engagement are needed to improve efficiency. This is mentioned by Abu Bakr et al. In 2022. The suggested improvements in our waste management. To improve sustainability, communities should expand recycling programs with clearly labeled bins. Composting of organic waste can reduce landfill use. Public awareness campaigns should promote the principles of reduce, reuse, and recycle. Policies and incentives for businesses can help minimize single use plastics. Waste to energy initiatives can also generate renewable energy while managing waste effectively. This is mentioned by EPA in 2025 and Abu Bakr et al. In 2022. Let's talk about climate change myths versus the facts. Two common climate myths affect public perception. First, the belief that global warming isn't caused by humans. Scientific evidence shows that human activities, especially fossil fuel burning, are the dominant cause of recent warming. Second, the belief that climate change isn't harmful. In reality, it leads to extreme weather, health risks, biodiversity loss, and economic consequences worldwide. This is mentioned by Skeptical Science in 2025 and UN in 2025. These myths can delay policy action and reduce public engagement in mitigation efforts. Let's talk about ozone protection. The ozone layer protects the Earth from harmful UV radiation, preventing skin cancer and ecosystem damage. Ozone depleting substances like CFCs historically thinned the ozone layer. The Montreal Protocol successfully phased out many of these substances. Protecting the ozone layer also helps mitigate climate change, but because some ozone depleting chemicals are potent greenhouse gases, continued monitoring and global compliance are essential to ensure its recovery. Finally, In conclusion, human activities drive climate change, air pollution, and waste challenges. Local and global actions such as renewable energy adoption, recycling, and ozone protection are critical to sustainability. Public awareness and individual actions are equally important. Collaboration between communities, governments, and international organizations is essential to address environmental challenges. Everyone can take small, consistent steps to reduce their environmental footprint and support sustainable practices in daily life. Lastly, the information in this presentation is based on credible sources including Harris 2023, the European Environment Agency 2025, the United Nations Reports 2025, UNEP 2025, US EPA 2025, Abu Bakr et al. 2022, and Skeptical Science 2025. Thank you.